Okay, so we're going to look at the SEC E9. First thing you want to do is calibrate it. If you've got any troubles, it cuts a bad key, just start by calibrating it. And to do that, you go down to settings, bottom right hand corner, click on that, and from here you can start to do all your upgrades, settings and decodes and things like that. We're going to be using clamp 1. There is different clamps there too, so you will have to go through and do each and every one of them. But the good thing is with this machine, it's best to keep recalibrating it all the time, especially if you get a bad key or something goes wrong or something changes. Just calibrate it before you do anything. To do that, go to Calibrate Clamp. It says First Next. Okay, and then we have this one, Decode the Distance. So this is the decoder and the cutter. So we'll lift that. We're going to put in this little piece of metal that came with the machine. We're just going to put that in clamp. This is clamp 1. It does the majority of your keys, and we'll just put that in anywhere along here. As you can see, this bit of aluminium. Push next. Now the machine will go down. It will decode. It will find the clamp, and then it will find that piece of metal. Now if something happens and it goes or the jaw is too far close to the wall, then you simply have to move it and recalibrate it again. That has happened once or twice where the actual cradle was too far in, and I'll show you how to fix that problem too. So right now it's telling me to change my cutter to a probe as well, so that you've got a probe under here and a cutter. That's my cutter. I'm going to be putting in a probe. This will allow the machine to know the distance between the probe and the cutter. So you simply back the screw off, let it go down, and then swap it over, push it all the way up, tighten it up. Don't let these probes drop because they will break. Be very careful when you're swapping them. So now on the cutter side, the probe we've installed is going through and also checking the distance between the clamp and that piece of aluminium. So it's actually finding its calibration. Okay, so that one's done. Let's go through to clamp 1. It says to prepare the piece of aluminium, which we already have, so let's do that as well. So first one we did was the clamp distance to the cutter. Now what we're doing is the actual clamp. Okay, now that's done. Now there is a move button here. Okay, when you push that, the actual cradle moves. There is another video we've done where if the actual cradle does get stuck, to move it out. So if it goes up against the back wall, you can push this move button to move it out. That's another handy feature. So don't panic if it goes to the back wall, just simply pull it down and recalibrate it and start again. You have your manual here as well. Now these distances we've just set, decode, cutter, Y and X distance, all of them we've done, so we'll just leave them as okay. We've got dimple, single-sided and tubular clamp calibration. All of those we would calibrate before actually doing it. So that is how you calibrate it. I'll just go to the close screen. So now you should be able to load a key, and it should be able to start to cut and copy and do everything properly. So it's important to do this. If you ever have a trouble, first thing you do is you go to the setup and you do your calibration. Make sure your calibration's there. So you've got clamp calibration, first calibration, and yeah, that's most of the ones you'll kind of need. You do have cutter and decode here as well. We can try them. Let's try decode. Automotive clamp. Which clamp we're using? We're using automotive clamp. So this is the tool length now. It's going to calibrate the tool length. And the beeping is telling us that it's done its job. I'm going to take the decoding probe out now, and I'm going to put the cutter back in, and I'm going to calibrate that one as well. So I've loosened the screw, but it's not coming out. I don't want it to drop, because just dropping this from this distance here will actually break it. So you got to make sure you don't drop them. very fine little decoding probe, 1 mil. Got a beeping. Okay, now I've done one. Now I'm going to calibrate the cutter, automotive clamp. This is simply just going to tell the machine how deep the cutter is, so your keys don't go too deep. Okay, so we've done clamp calibration, distance to the clamp. Clamp calibration, distance to the clamp, decoder calibration, cutter calibration. I don't think there's any more to actually do. I think that's pretty much it. You have your languages upgrade and all of these things here, inches, millimeters. So we'll just close that off. And just to show you that it's taken the information, let's go to, which one was it? Close. Clamp calibration. Okay, so this one here, the move one. So let's look at our distances here. We've got -50 and we got 0.507. Okay, so let's close this off. Close. Now to turn it off, you just push this red button, and to turn it back on, you simply do that button. So let's look if our distances are the same and if it's accepted those distances for the next time we use it. We just wait for it to boot up. What I like about this particular model is it doesn't have the separate tablet, so it's just like turn it on and there you go. Okay, setup. Sometimes it is a bit slow. Allow the machine to do what it wants to do. If it takes 10 or 20 seconds to do anything, just wait for it. Okay, so let's look at our specs to see if they're the same. Okay, so they are the same, -50, 0.507. So our calibration is still there after we turn the power off. Okay, so if you do have any troubles with a machine like that, first thing you do, recalibrate those 4 steps, and that will allow you to cut a good key once again. Thanks for watching.